The roar of the Su-30 air dominance fighters. The thunder of the Chinook heavy lift helicopters. Army and air warriors prepare for joint operations. As China build-ups at Pengongso and Depsang, India armed and ready to defend our borders. And that's our top focus on India first.
Also on the show, it is my proud privilege to bring you the story of the mountain breakers and the road makers of Ladakh. The brave laborers who've come from Dumka in Jharkhand, and 11,000 of them have now been called to make these strategic roads along the India-China line of actual control. I interacted with some of these brave youngsters. They're braving icy winds, cold weather, and they are saying they're willing to brave bullets to ensure they quickly make these roads to the line of actual control for our soldiers to go up to the LAC and defend our borders from the Chinese aggressors. I will get you that story. I'm Gaurav Sawant. Action-packed 30 minutes lined up. Let's get started with the headlines. Top focus story on the broadcast: joint air and land exercises by the Indian Air Force and the Indian Army in Ladakh. Remember, this is a high-altitude battlefield from Chumar in the south of Ladakh, about 14,500 feet, to Depsang and Daulat Beg Oldi, above 16,600 feet. So you have a very diverse line of actual control, and quick movement of men and material is of utmost importance. The Indian Air Force Air Warriors and the Indian Army came together for a very complex exercise to ensure men and material can quickly be taken from one place to the other. This is a top story.
With a huge roar, the Su-30 MKI takes off from the Kaushik Bakula Reponche airfield at Leh at an altitude of approximately 11,500 feet. The air dominance fighter, capable of carrying up to 10 tons of weapons, majestically circles the Leh city before soaring into the clear blue sky to scan beyond the horizon and protect India's skies from any aerial aggression. Underneath its umbrella of protection, the twin rotors of the Chinook heavy lift transport helicopters thunder in the sky as they swiftly transport men and material from one area to the other. The Indian Air Force and Army are carrying out a joint exercise in the high altitude sector to quickly transport men, material, equipment and warlike stores including arms and ammunition from one part of Ladakh to the other.
Our deployments, the people who have been sent there, would be getting acclimatized to flying in those areas, in doing coordination with the army, that is the ground troops, and they would be coming up to speed with the peculiarities of operating at those high altitudes.
The Indian Air Force has activated a number of airfields in Ladakh, Jammu and Kashmir, Punjab and Haryana for this exercise. The C-130J Hercules and the Warhorse of IAF Transport Fleet AN-32, along with the heavy lift IL-76 and C-17 Globemaster Fleet, are also a part of extended exercise and operational deployment. The Indian Air Force and Army are carrying out this joint exercise to validate concepts of swift deployment, extraction and counter-deployment in different areas of operation. The aim is also to check the efficacy of the plans on ground.
While we do not know and we should not know what are the plans, some aspects of how we go about, or how we plan to go about tackling the Chinese threat would be getting practiced.
The Indian Army is also robustly deployed along the 830-kilometer long India-China LAC, and the current exercise will enable commanders to quickly move men and material in areas that are required.
whether it's the Su-30 MKIs, the Mirage 2000, the MiG-29 air superiority fighters, providing an envelope of security all across while troop movement takes place. So airfields not just in Ladakh but other parts close to Ladakh have also been activated for this exercise that's currently underway. With cameraman Kripal Singh, in Leh, Gaurav Sawant for India Today.
The situation along the Pangong Tso, especially between Finger 4 and Finger 8, is causing much alarm. India Today has accessed high-resolution satellite imagery, and take a look at the satellite imagery. It shows how the Chinese not only moved in men but are also moving material and defenses between Finger 8 and Finger 4. So Finger 8 is India's perception of the line of actual control, and the Chinese are unilaterally trying to change the status quo of the line of actual control, which India says is unacceptable. But take a look at these images on your television screen. You can see, very clearly see, a complex Chinese build-up in this area. Satellite images show that Chinese have not only pitched tents in this area, they've got additional boats in this area between Finger 8 and Finger 4. They've got utility vehicles in this area. And this image, incidentally, was taken on the 12th of June. So this is 3 days before that face-off at Galwan. The Chinese, while they're talking about peace and negotiation and disengagement, they are actually building up in this area, as you can see in these images. So what is the Indian Army's assessment of the ground situation? While Indian Army is at Finger 4, the Chinese are between Finger 8 and Finger 4. The Chinese are strengthening in a big way in Sirijap, which is where they have their base camp. The Indian Army is also strengthening up here. India Today's Shiv Arur, he spoke to his sources in the Army headquarters for a bigger picture. What's the Army's assessment of the situation on ground? Take a look.
8 months before the current standoff, this is what was happening on the banks of Ladakh's Pangong Tso. A belligerent Chinese patrol, not confident of facing Indian troops by themselves, receiving support from patrol boats sailing in formation to intimidate, and utility vehicles rumbling along the shore in an effort to overwhelm. But as you can see in these pictures, the Indian troops, smaller in numbers, hold their ground. They unfurl a banner. They even sit on the road to block the paths. This video from September 2019 shows you how things were a month after the abrogation of Article 370 in Jammu and Kashmir and the creation of a new union territory of Ladakh. And it is here that the focus has shifted back in the current standoff. India Today has now accessed these new satellite images posted by popular open source intelligence Twitter handle Detresfa. These satellite images reveal at least 4 new Chinese support positions between Finger 4 and Finger 6 areas, believed to be in the making since the 13th of June. One of these camps has been set up south of the main camp across the lake. Boats, tents and equipment are seen in these camps from high-resolution satellite images. China has mobilized more in this part of Pangong than anywhere else in eastern Ladakh, making this the focal point of a possible future skirmish. After the June 22nd talks between corps commanders, has China begun to move back its positions? Bureau Report, India Today.
I want to bring into this conversation Colonel S. Dinny. Colonel Dinny had commanded his battalion. In fact, his troops have patrolled up to Finger 8. As of now, the Chinese are well deployed till Finger 4. Colonel Dinny, when you look at these images, when you look at Chinese increasing their deployment and setting up ADAM bases, administrative bases and logistics bases near Sirijap and other areas, what do you make of the Chinese intention, especially now when they have more boats coming in between Finger 8 and Finger 4?
Gaurav, in fact, I was on your earlier show too, and I have a slightly different view on this. See, I had mentioned earlier also that yes, satellites do tell a story, but they don't tell the complete picture. So we need to be a little cautious when we assess the correct kind of, moving into the correct assessment of what it means. Definitely, what the kind of analysis which has been brought out by your team is good. It's a it's a quite a comprehensive one. But I would like to look at it in a slightly different manner, in the sense that from finger 4 to finger 8, the Chinese have placed themselves in such a manner that it is too visible, it is too obvious to anybody that they want us to see. They want us to see that all across the mountain ridges they have placed structures. The boats have been placed at finger 4, which is again not something unusual, because boats can be placed anywhere. Those boats, we've used those boats, like we also, that we can use the boats, go to any place and just get down from that place. So it is not that big a issue. But more importantly is that the way they have placed themselves in, even if it's in the depth, they have those gun-like structures and all. It's almost unbelievable kind of thing that they want us to see. That okay, here it is. Please have a look at it. So are they trying to give us a message? Is what I'm trying to is my way of looking at it, rather than they building up. Because if for even otherwise it's a super deception plan which they're doing.
No, so are they daring us? Are they daring us? They are saying, okay, this is your perceived line of actual control till finger 8. You've patrolled till finger 8. This is our area. They've come in there and now they're daring us. They kar lo kya kar sakte ho. That's the Chinese mentality. That's the Chinese attitude. Is that your appreciation, sir?
Yes, definitely. See, after the conflict had started, once the conflict had started and they had brought in 4-point contact, which they did at various places, and then now the what they require is an exit strategy. Definitely, what they require is an exit strategy, because now they have to look after two audience. One is their home audience, and also one is the international audience. Now, for that is this messaging. Okay, now this is how the PLA works. This is the might of the PLA's kind of thing. What you're trying to say, Gaurav, is absolutely right. That they wanted to show that this is the might. And in the same bargain, there is a negotiation which is taking place. And what I look at it is that they are going in for an honorable exit strategy now, and that is all this posturing is part of that. And as was brought out earlier also in the show, that this will take a long time to de-escalate. It will not happen on a small, in an immediate manner.
Fair enough.
It will take a long time. So I read it as a posturing by the PLA to show their, the capabilities or whatever their might to the world and to the domestic audience, and of course to India, that this is what we are capable of doing. This is what I read it, Gaurav.
Colonel Dinny, stay with me. Fair enough. Fair enough. Stay with me, sir. Let me quickly bring in India Today's editor, Defense, Abhishek Bhalla, for more on this. Abhishek, for far too long, our country has given these Chinese an honorable exit, a face saver in every situation. Perhaps now is the time, while you give them a face saver, but you also must send home the point. Is that the thinking in the government? Is that the thinking in the government, that we will restore our claim till finger 8 and the Chinese must go back? There is no halfway. They cannot sit at finger 6, finger 7 or a negotiated settlement somewhere in between. Abhishek.
Gaurav, as far as the troops on the ground are concerned, it's very clear. They have a very clear message that they have to give this message to the Chinese. There's no moving back. In fact, as far as Pangong So is concerned, they have altered status quo, if one can say so. Sources have been saying that. And, as Colonel Dinny pointed out, that, this is a long haul. It's not going to finish overnight. There's no quick fix solution. That's exactly what people who are observing the situation are saying, that this might take months, but make no mistake about it. This doesn't mean, if there is a delay, if this lingers on for 2-3 months, that doesn't mean that the Indian army is going to move backwards or there's going to be a pullback as far as the Indian army is concerned. If there has to be a retreat, it has to be two ways. The disengagement is not a one-way street. That's something very clear. Even in the Corps Commander level talks and various other dialogues between the militaries, that's been made very clear that if there has to be any kind of a de-escalation, disengagement, de-induction, it has to happen from both sides. China cannot expect only Indian army to move back.
No, in fact, the Chinese need to move back first. They are the ones who transgress. They need to go back. And perhaps one time, India must put our foot down. We must put our foot down on this. But there's breaking news coming in. Colonel Dinny and Abhishek, stay with me. There's breaking news that's coming in from Beijing. There's been a reaction from India's ambassador to China, Vikram Misri. And Vikram Misri, in no uncertain terms, has said that China cannot transgress the line of actual control and that China needs to move back. This is what Vikram Misri has said. India's envoy to China has said China's claim over the Galwan Valley is completely untenable. China must stop erecting these new structures. And I would presume these new structures are the ones that have been erected between Finger 4 and Finger 8. He's also said that the attempts to alter the status quo will and can. I must rephrase. Okay, he said attempts to alter status quo can have repercussions. The PLA's actions have damaged trust in bilateral ties. China must stop obstructing Indian patrolling till the line of actual control. India has always carried out activities only on our side of the line of actual control. Colonel Dinny, I once again want to come back to the point. India is being very polite. India's actually trying to accommodate the aggressor. He's come into our area between Finger 8 and Finger 4, and we are saying, okay, save face, may have an honorable exit, go back, take 6 months. Is that the only alternative that we have? Or are there other options that India has exercised in the past? For example, when they came into Depsang, we went into another area and then there was a mutual negotiation in 2013-14. You are well aware of that, sir.
Yes, Gaurav, but I'll, we are not giving them an easy kind of a thing. It is, we are being firm. Let's put it that way. And I was referring this to somebody else also earlier, that there is a history which is there in Pengongso due to which this crisis has happened. And that history is that since we were not allowed to go to Finger 8, we also did not allow them to come to Finger 4. And the entire conflict has started on the night of May 5th, 6th. There was an escalation of violence also, which we know, and there were, injuries to both sides. So there is a history to it. So it is not that we are being nice to them and, we've done that. And that is how then it further escalated. And in Galwan also, we know what happened there. There was casualties on their side also. So it is, whatever they do, there is an equal and opposite reaction is what Indian Army does on the LAC. There's no doubt. We don't cross the LAC, as was rightly brought out by the ambassador also. We don't cross the LAC. But there is no way that somebody can just come over and think that, come inside and have their say. But in the case of Pengongso, things were different. Things are different. Why?
Okay.
Because both sides keep doing the patrolling. It is not that, it's only Chinese who come or we go. It's both sides. And yes, they did a massive change of status quo by placing themselves between Finger 4 and Finger 8. This has happened before also. So now, yes, there is pressure. We are applying through other means, due to which I'm sure by the end of these talks, and I don't know what exactly the time frame, but within non-kinetic means and other issues coming into play, things will be resolved. That's what I think is what India is looking. It is no way we should interpret it as a soft kind of a thing. It is being very firm on ground. And in fact, you just reported the kind of activities that Indian side is doing on its own on this side as a preparation. Also, where is the doubt that we are
absolutely
whatever doing, and in fact going more than what is required. There's no doubt on that account, Gaurav.
In fact, maybe one day, Colonel Dinny, we will be able to tell our fellow countrymen what we are doing, which is more than that. But perhaps today is not the day for that. But if I may, just quickly, is it possible for India to construct till Finger 4, or construct a road till Finger 4 for future, or is that just not possible? And if I may, can we patrol till Finger 8, through the water, take up boats till Finger 8, at least continue to put our point across?
See, all options are there, Gaurav. No options can be ruled out. Reaching Finger 8 is not a problem. The problem is unobstructed reaching Finger 8. That, like what we used to call the way it used to happen in April. Like that is what we are looking at. That is what is return to status quo ante means. That our patrol should be reaching on a boat or reaching through the higher ridge is not a problem. You can reach for an infantry soldier. There is no obstacle. You can reach there. But that is not the point. The point is that there should be no obstruction. Nobody should be coming behind us. There should be nobody who should be stopping us till going from where our LAC is. So that is the kind of thing, and I'm hopeful that once this is over, after Chinese move out, it will return back to the same way. Because why I say so is, Gaurav, one more thing is that what the Chinese have done this time is too blatant. It's too there in the open for everybody to see, and that's why I say that it's a message which they wanted, and something has hurt them really bad, due to which they're sending out this message after the talks. Now they want to move out, and after that the normalcy will return, and we should be going to figure eight both through the boats and through the foot without any problem, is what I foresee. But it will take time. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. But the Chinese must know that they cannot kill 20 of our braves. That's completely unacceptable. To Colonel Denny, to Abhishek Bhalla, to every Indian, that is just completely unacceptable. And that is why India is also sending out a very strong message that we will build road infrastructure in our country till the line of actual control. Now, it was my proud privilege. It's a proud privilege to interact with air warriors and soldiers, and I do that every day. But today, it was my proud privilege to interact with laborers who had come from Dumka in Jharkhand. They're braving sub-zero temperatures on the higher reaches, and they're constructing roads, the strategic roads that are so desperately required. It's not just the 255-kilometer long Durbuk-Shok Daulat Beg Oldie road, but also feeder roads to the line of actual control. There are bridges that are being constructed. There are other approach roads that are being constructed, and all of this is being done by the labor force, 11,000 of them who are coming from Jharkhand. There's a small window of 6 months in which this construction needs to happen, and they're really working very hard and with a smile on their face. They told me they're willing to face bullets, but they will ensure roads are built. Listen in.
Bharat Mata ki Jai! Bharat Mata ki Jai!
The government is focusing on constructing roads along the line of actual control, strategic roads in Ladakh. India is desperately trying to catch up with Chinese infrastructure development, and a very crucial role is being played by these young men from Dumka in Jharkhand. They are the ones who are actually employed in the task of cutting mountains and making roads for our soldiers to be deployed right up to the line of actual control. Let's now talk to some of these youngsters. यहाँ पर कितना कठिन है सड़क बनाना, और कहाँ-कहाँ सड़क बना रहे हैं आप?
हम लोग जैसे कटिंग चल रहा ना सर, उसी में रोड बना रहे हैं। कटिंग करे तब मशीन से हम लोग दीवार बना रहे हैं।
अच्छा, कहाँ से आए आप?
दुमका से, दुमका जिला
से। आप?
जी सर, दुमका झारखंड से हम लोग आए हुए हैं। ये रोड आरबीओ के काम में हम लोग कर रहे हैं, और ये रोड संगठन जो है सर, रोड का काम जो है, वो रोड का काम हम लोग कर रहे हैं, बहुत साल से ही मतलब कर रहे हैं। लगभग 2000 साल से हम लोग यहाँ पर रह रहे हैं सर।
सन 2000 से आप यहाँ पर रह रहे हैं, सड़क बना रहे हैं। इन पहाड़ों को काटकर सड़क बनाना आसान नहीं है, सबसे कठिन काम है। एक पत्थर और दूसरा ठंड, कैसे झेलते हैं?
झेल लेते हैं सर, मजबूरी है। झारखंड से आना पड़ता है, घर में बाल बच्चा बीवी परिवार भी है, इसके वजह से पढ़े लिखे हैं, थोड़ा बहुत पढ़े हैं, लेकिन कोई साधन नहीं है, इसके कारण से आना पड़ता है।
कितना कठिन है यहाँ सड़क बनाना?
कठिन तो है सर, लेकिन क्या करेंगे।
सबसे ज्यादा कठिनाई क्या आती है सड़क बनाने में?
कठिन है सर, ब्लास्टिंग, जो मतलब पत्थर तोड़ना है, उसके बाद रोड का काम होता है, सोलिंग मेटलिंग करना पड़ता है, वही काम है सर हम लोग का।
अच्छा, क्या आप लोगों को ये बताया गया है कि इस समय ये सड़क बनाना कितना अहम है, खासतौर पर जब यहाँ से हम चीन की सीमा की बात करते हैं?
हाँ, वो तो है सर, और हमारा ये जो है, हम लोग सब इंडिया के ही हैं, इसलिए हम लोग को गर्व होता है जो हम लोग सड़क बनाएं, रोड बनाएं, और कम से कम चीना तक का हम लोग मतलब रोड बना सकें, इसलिए हम लोग प्रयास में हैं और प्रयास करते रहेंगे।
As India continues to build infrastructure all the way to the line of actual control, the disparity between Chinese roads and Indian roads will reduce, and then it'll be better for our soldiers to quickly deploy right up to the line of actual control. And braves like these play a very crucial role in ensuring that our braves in uniform are able to protect us better. With cameraman Kripal Singh in Ladakh, Gaurav Sawant for India Today.
Now you must beware. There's a Chinese cyber attack. So this war is not just being fought on ground, not just in social media, it's also in cyberspace, and your bank accounts, your other accounts, they're all extremely vulnerable.
over 40,000 attacks in 5 days. After the border face-off, China is now targeting Indian cyberspace. India's infrastructure and banking sectors have been under attack. Maharashtra Police's cyber cell that's probing the attack says the Indian government sectors still remain vulnerable.
ज़्यादातर ये सब साइबर अटैक्स जो हैं या हैकिंग अटैक्स जो हैं वो चेंडू एरिया, चाइना के चेंडू एरिया से ओरिजिनेट हो रहे हैं। इसके साथ साथ ब्रॉडली इनको 3 कैटेगरी में बांटा जा सकता है। नंबर 1 टाइप ऑफ अटैक्स हैं जो कि डिनायल ऑफ सर्विस अटैक्स हैं। दूसरे टाइप के अटैक्स हैं जो कि इंटरनेट प्रोटोकॉल हाईजैकिंग अटैक्स हैं। और थर्ड टाइप के अटैक है वो है फिशिंग अटैक्स।
According to a Singapore-based cyber threat intelligence firm, the sectors that were targeted for cyber attacks included telecom, pharma, media companies, smartphone makers, construction and tire companies. The analysis also shows that the hackers particularly targeted 3 government ministries: Foreign Affairs, Defence and Information and Broadcasting.
The attack on our critical infrastructure by disruption of our critical infrastructure, especially in the time of pandemic. Now, if you were to analyze sectors like telecom or power sector, we have huge dependencies of Chinese equipment.
The government has also issued an advisory through the National Cybercrime Portal, warning users of large-scale phishing attacks planned by Chinese state-backed hackers.
Hi everyone, Preeti Chaudhary here. Hope you like this video. For latest news and analysis, like and subscribe to the India Today YouTube channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated. Thank you for watching.